What's up, VIP? Chaz here, bringing you probably one of the most requested videos that I think we've had in VIP history, which is going to be Funko Pops. These lovely things that you guys have seen. Funko's quick backstory, how I even got into them, because you guys have probably seen my little collections I got going on. So I got the backgrounds here. Anyone watch my Instagram today? It looks so tiny on camera, but that shelf is loaded with all of the new Avengers Infinity Wars. I walked into Hot Topic today, and I was expecting to start getting some of these just, at every other store or something like that, but they had the whole lineup right there. The only one I'm missing is Black Widow, Spider-Man, and Captain America, but I got all the other ones. So that's super exciting. Let me get mutes going. There we go. Sweet. So let's dive in. I got started in Funko's. I don't even remember. I think I was just doing regular retail arbitrage, and I happened to just stumble upon them. And like a lot of people, when you first see these things, you're like, oh, they're just a bunch of toys. Like, what's the big deal? But then you get into collecting, and man, people will like fight to the tooth for some of these things. It's crazy. So I remember scanning one, and the first thing I'll put out there is if you want to get into the Funko flipping game, Amazon is going to be on a lot of the listings, unless you're getting exclusives. And we'll dive in and talk about this. And if you guys just want to remember to mute your lines if you can, that would be great. So let's start with the basics. Funko 101 for those of you that have no idea what to look for, how to flip them, etc. So if you guys have questions at all, drop those over in the chat so we can make sure that we get those answered for you. I want you to be able to leave this call and be able to walk into a store and start scanning and looking up comps and that kind of stuff, okay? So I want you to feel comfortable to be able to do that after we're done here. So with Funkos, there's basically 3 categories, okay? So you have commons. These are the everyday, they're all over the place, lots of demand, or lots of supply, which means lower demand. Typically, Amazon is going to be on a lot of those listings for those of you Amazon sellers. Amazon buys very, very large quantity. Now, when they buy such large quantity, they're able to sell them for $5, which means, of course, with Amazon fees, you're making like $1 gross. Now, those ones, the only shot you have is if Amazon goes out of stock, and it's up to the FBA sellers, because if Amazon goes out of stock, the natural progression with any product is the FBA sellers raise their price. Yep, I'm definitely going to show examples. Let me get some of these brought out for you. I have a whole box I'm going to show you. So let me start with, grab one of these here. All right. So let's start with, actually, there's one more. I'll grab up here. Okay, I think we're good. So there's 3 categories, okay? Let's bust through this. One is you have commons. These are going to be just regular, everyday Funkos. Now, the exception is going to be if a movie is coming out. That is usually a good thing to look out for. So, for example, this may be common now, Poe from the recent Star Wars. Now, right now, this is not worth anything. Like, I'll just do this live with you guys where my phone is. So, and I know we have a lot of split sellers in here, so I'll try to touch base on both the Amazon and the eBay side for you because I want to keep that pretty even. So Amazon, if I scan this right now, Amazon is selling this for $8.78, and I see $4.27 gross after fees and shipping. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not after shipping. And these are super light, so it costs 13 cents to ship. So I see about $4. So if I can get this for $2, which I've seen them go down that low, Walmart specifically has clearance down Funkos down to $1 and $2 before. So if this starts to get super, super cheap, it's worth buying it if you can get a couple of them. But for the most part, it's a common. Amazon's going to be on the listing, which means there's not going to be much money in here. Now, when the movie came out, I loaded up on these, and I was selling these for like 25 bucks. Even though now it's a common, you have a sweet spot when any new movie comes out and they have Funko Pops built around it. Because if you don't know, Funkos, they're basically collector's toys. They're like bobbleheads. So they're all bobbleheads. And they typically are themed out based on TV shows and movies. So if you see a spike in a popular TV show like Stranger Things, right? When these Funkos first dropped, even though now there's a lot of supply coming out, so the prices have gone down, when these first came out, you couldn't find them anywhere. So, of course, if you can find them, you can sell them for $20, $30, $40, especially the Chase, and we'll get into that in a minute. So when you're looking at the commons, if they're based around a movie, you have this sweet spot. Usually right when the movie comes out, you see this spike of demand because everyone sees the movie and the collectors think, oh my gosh, I want to have a whole shelf full of those. So they go out and start looking for them. But if they can't find them in the store, they have to go to Amazon, eBay for it. So, for example, like I showed you up on that shelf over there, and I took a picture, post on my Facebook if you want to see what the whole lineup looks like. But I today went and bought a bunch of the new Avengers Infinity Wars. And these just came out. The big difference is Amazon is already on the listing and the movie hasn't even come out yet. Amazon typically isn't on the listing that quick. So I did not buy a bunch of them. I just bought about 2 or 3 each just because I kind of want to test the waters. And here's what I'm going to do with that. I have to wait for Amazon to go out of stock is basically what happens. And most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, Amazon will go out of stock when that movie comes out and gets released. It's going to cause that demand to come up. They're going to swipe Amazon clean. Hopefully that's the goal. And then when they're out of stock, we can sell ours for 20 plus. Your typical buy cost, and again, I don't have sales tax up here, so anytime I give you guys numbers, it's based on no sales tax. I'm sorry. I don't know what your guys' sales tax looks like, but my buy cost is typically about $9. So if you walk into Walmart up here, I think it's like $8.78 for a Funko. Hot Topic specifically, I'll talk about different stores in a minute, but Hot Topic is a little bit higher price, but I'll show you how I am able to get these for under $9 at Hot Topic. So that's kind of, Gretchen just pointed out $9.25. Yeah, Jurassic Park right now is super popular, and Hot Topic has a bunch of them. So I'm actually going to go back up there after I get back from ASD, and I have one of the managers there is going to hold on to a case for me. That's like a whole nother story we'll talk about with manager hookups. But yeah, so you look at these different movies coming out, and all of a sudden these Funkos get released, and usually they get released way before the movie even comes out. And once those come out, you want to kind of stockpile a little bit. And so if you're the type of seller that you like to just get in, flip your stuff, get out, Funkos, they're hit or miss with that because you kind of have to, and it's only going to come with practice. The more you start to do it, the better you get at it. So, for example, Jurassic Park, right? You can start to sell these now because the movie's obviously already came out years ago, but they came out with the new Jurassic Park, which is based on the original movie, not the new one. And so they came out with these Funkos, and the demand was just like through the roof. So right now, Jurassic Park, if you can find those, do run your comps on those because there's some good money to be made on the Jurassic Park ones right now. But when it comes to new movies like the new Avengers, you're going to see Amazon on the listing. Let's actually run. Let me see if I can run. So Amazon is on pretty much all of the listings. I checked earlier today. I did not check eBay, so let me actually look that up. So if we type in, and here's how I search, by the way. If I can't scan the barcode, for example, I don't know how well you can see, but Hot Topic covers the barcode with their own barcode. That's their price tag. So I can't just walk into Hot Topic and scan because it's their barcode. It's not the actual UPC. So I have to physically type it in. That's a pain in the butt. And that's why a lot of people just walk into Hot Topic, for example. And at Hot Topic, if you don't have one, it's kind of like a Zoomies or a Journey store. So they carry a whole bunch of different stuff. And they're typically a mall chain. So you'll find them in malls is where you'll find them. So you can look up Hot Topic on your maps and see if they're around you. So when I walk in, and I have people that will be like, oh yeah, I walked in, I couldn't scan anything, so I didn't check. Like, you have to put in the work. That's what it comes down to, is those who are willing to put in the work. So here's how I search. I just type in Funko, and then for example, oh, this I don't have. Yes, I do. Hold on. I think I still have one. All right, so let's look this one up. So this is one of the ones I picked up today from the new movie. And this is a Hot Topic exclusive. It's not a common. All the other ones were the common, so I didn't get much of those, but these ones I got a few of. So if I type in Funko, I'm going to do both Amazon, eBay, and show you guys. So if I type in Funko, and usually just the character's name, Funko Vision. And of course, Vision, they have other Visions too based on different movies. But since these are the new ones, typically if you look at the sold listings, you're going to see the newer ones. So I can see recently sold on this one. And again, my buy cost today, today was a little bit higher buy cost because I bought a bunch of personal ones. Whoops. And they were the big ones, so they were $18 on the original price tag, not $12. But if I'm working the system, I can get these for about $7 to $8, somewhere in that range. So this one, if I spend $8, I see $19.99. Oh, sweet. Somebody did an auction and got $29, $19, $17.99. So you can see kind of slim margins on some of those. But then if I go over to Amazon, and you guys can kind of follow along too. I'm just typing in Funko Vision. And if you see a bunch of them pop up, let's see if you guys can see that. So if I type in Funko Vision, because there's other ones from other movies, I can actually filter that down a little bit more, and I can type in Hot Topic, because that will knock it down to just the exclusives. And there I see the new one. So here, this is why I bought this one. So today I spent about $8.50 for this. Right now, the Amazon listing is a 51,000 rank in toys, which is good. They have no FBA because these just came out. I think in the last couple days they started hitting stores. So these just came out, which means it's a game of speed. Get in there, sell your stuff, get out. So here's where the game of speed is great, because I can send this in. There's no FBA right now. There's only 6 merchant filled. The merchant filled are selling for $35, leaving $25 left. So I'm turning $8 to $9 is turning in 25 out of this. So again, you have to decide if you want to get in there, flip, get out, or if you want to get in there. The longer you hold on to it, though, typically Amazon will hop on the listing. This is the one listing they're not on right now because it's a Hot Topic exclusive. So that's where the exclusives come into play. So check both platforms, see which one is going better. For some reason, I don't know why, but eBay does better with some of them, and then Amazon does better with some. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just wherever the market is. So that's why it's really good to check both, because I've made the mistake in the past where I might scan something for Amazon. It's not profitable. I put it back on the shelf, and then I see it on eBay, and I go, oh, crap, I should have bought that. It's worth money. So you kind of have to play around, but I definitely recommend choosing to look up comps on both, just because you never know. But when it comes down to the first category, the commons, based around movies. And a lot of it's going to be a shot in the dark at some point. So like Black Panther, for example, I bought up a bunch of the common Black Panthers, which now they're everywhere. But once the movie came out, I was able to sell them. I bought for about $9 at my Walmart. No discounts or anything, so I paid full price, but I bought them for about $9. And they were selling between $20 and $22. So I spent $9. I was making like a $4 profit, which was good for me. So that's how you do the commons. Do we have any questions on commons so far? I want to make sure everyone's on the same page and clear before we move on to like the next category. Let me get up here and answer questions for you guys too. If you come across the RuPaul Drag Race ones, pick them up for me. A few Hot Topics have them. All right, cool. I personally do not merchant fill these. Anything on Amazon, I only merchant fill video games because they're super easy to bag, label, and they're out the door. Stuff like this that needs a little more protection, I just FBA. is what I'm doing for that. So that's it for commons. Okay, super easy to get a hold of. But typically it's going to be a lot higher competition because everyone else is finding them. Here's where we get into the actual money though. So commons is category number 1. Number 2 is going to be the exclusives. So the store exclusives are you're only able to buy them from that store. So here's a few examples. This was one that I got several of. I think I got 6 of these total. This was a Target exclusive, which means Walmart can't carry it, Hot Topic, GameStop, none of the other guys can carry this. So that's why the exclusives now become harder to find because they do not make as many of them as they do with the commons. So if we type this guy in, right? So we're going to type in Funko. This is the holographic Kylo. You typically don't have to type in the full thing, but this is the holographic Kylo Ren. See, now with this, I've not sold these. I'm actually holding on to mine because these were limited edition. So I'm actually not going to be selling these right now. So I'm holding on to mine. But where I can see right now on Amazon, the only reason I'd be hesitant to send this into Amazon, if you guys look at the listing I'm looking at right now, there's only one listing, and it says it comes with a Chalice collectible case, which this is not in a collectible case. So unless you can include, and that's something to keep an eye on too for all your other products you're selling too, always see if it comes with something. Because if you send in a single unit and it's supposed to come with something else, you're going to get a return. So I've had that happen a couple times on different items with me. So I always double check the listing to make sure it's the right quantity and to make sure it doesn't come with any like bonus stuff. But this thing on eBay sells for, actually this came in a kit. So I was looking at the kit on the other one. But if I just type in Funko holographic Kylo, and I filtered down, I can see that this recently sold for 30. It sold for 25, 33, 30. So you can see about $30. Okay. And my buy cost on that was 15, if I remember right. I had bought this like a month ago. So that's it on store exclusives. These are going to be harder to find because they're only exclusive to that store, but this is where you start to make some money. And I'm going to talk about Hot Topic specifically because they have something called Hot Cash, and this is how I've been doing this. And you guys saw the screenshot I posted where I didn't even realize I had made that much. I thought I would make like $500 or $600, but I made $1,000 profit last month just on Hot Topic Funkos. And you guys all saw the picture when I did it too. I went out in one day to 5 Hot Topics, and I cashed in all these coupons that I had, which I'll share with you guys in a minute. But I had a bunch of these coupons, 5 different Hot Topics in one day, and I bought 100 of them, and they all sold quick. And now you're not going to make a ton of money. You're not making $40, $50 profit, so it's not a huge markup, but you're going for volume if you get into the Funko game. Yeah, you can go out and hunt down the chases, which is the third category I talk about. Those are the rare ones. You can hunt those down and make 30, 40 bucks on some of those. There's even super rare ones. I mean, there's some of them. There's a genie from Aladdin. There's a metallic genie that's worth about 500 bucks. I mean, they have got some huge high-end stuff. But obviously you're not going to be able to go find those hardly at all. That's like once in a lifetime find. So when it comes down to it, you have your commons, right? These are going to be a lot higher competition, very easy to find. You have to really be ahead of the curve on that. If you have like Entertainment Earth sells a lot of common stuff. They actually have Entertainment Earth exclusives too. The way that you can make money with that is you have to order that stuff and pre-order it months in advance before they get it. And then when it comes out, sometimes you have to battle competition because Entertainment Earth has their own markup. So I like to just walk into the store and pick up what's available now so I can get it shipped in. Now, when it comes down to the store exclusives, they will always have a sticker. Here's the easy way to tell. Like this is the Hot Topic exclusive. This is Target, Walmart, GameStop, Walgreens, FYE. It's FYI. I know some states don't have it, but it's like a music and entertainment store. Fi, all of those stores have their own exclusives. So you can walk into any store, Target, you can walk into any store and look for these stickered ones. These are typically going to be the ones that people hunt. So when it comes down to your exclusives, that's where you start to be able to make some money. Okay. Do we have any questions on exclusives so far? Andy says, I have a Comic-Con Star Wars exclusive, but gated in Star Wars. Is there a workaround? You have to get ungated in Star Wars. So open up an account with Entertainment Earth and order 10 units of really any Star Wars toy, even if you just break even on it, and use that invoice and get ungated. That's how you could do it. That's after you've tried to get auto ungated. So when it comes up as restricted listing, you need to apply to get ungated and just click it anyways and see if it auto ungates you. If it doesn't, you have to go through the hoops in order to do that. I only own 2 Funkos, Superman, which is 2016 exclusive, Batman vs Superman set. Nice, Jason. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah. So the exclusives is kind of where I hang out. I don't do a lot of commons unless I'm kind of paying attention to movie trends that are coming up or TV shows. Those, I mean, again, you have to be ahead of the curve with that stuff. But the exclusives is kind of like home base. If you get down your system and your routine, and even better, you make connections with managers, that's where you really start to hone in on this stuff. So let's get into my favorite ones. So category 1, we have commons. Okay, they have a high supply, which is low demand. Typically, Amazon is going to be on most of those listings. So if you're going to do commons, you have to wait for them to sell out, and then you can make a few bucks on them. So if you're comfortable doing the waiting game and having your capital tied up in that, which some people are, go for it. The fun ones get into the exclusives. That's category 2. They're not impossible to find, but there's less supply, so the demand is a little bit there. I did find Thanos. I got a couple of them. I don't have them in this box. I did find Thanos. He's up on my wall right now. So again, when you're in tune with the movie trends and the TV shows, when these things drop. Pick them up, cash in, and get out. So I'm all about the quick flip with these and doing volume, because I'm okay making $3 profit on these if I'm doing 100 of them. And so that's kind of the ball game you're going to play with this. The last category, category 3, are going to be chase. So they will always say chase. Can you guys see that okay? You will always see chase in the corner. And here we go. They have different types of chases, actually. So like this one is come on, focus. Come on. This is a glow in the dark. There we go. Glow in the dark chase. Versus the regular chase is going to be the yellow sticker. So chases, very few quantity, which means high demand. These things are freaking amazing. I literally almost peed myself the first time I saw one, like in the wild. It was so cool because I had been collecting. I got the store exclusives. I was selling them in the beginning. I didn't even own one. I was just selling them. And then all of a sudden I found one that I liked. I'm like, ooh, I kind of like this one. It was just a basic little Iron Man. It was just a little Iron Man one. I'm like, I love Marvel movies. I'm going to throw Iron Man up on my desk. And then I was like, oh, well, you got to have Captain America to go with him. And then it turned into this little set on my desk. I'm like, well, crap. Now I got to have the whole set. And now I've got friggin' Funkos like up on all over my walls now. So that's how it started for me. But now that I'm in the collecting side, I'm a little bit more in tune with, finding these things and the system that you have to have down to do it. So chases, the average chase, like we look these up right now, and you guys can follow along if you want to. If we go to eBay, I just found this one yesterday, the Frodo. I just found this one in Target yesterday. I found this at about 3 p.m. That was like shocking. So with chases, they're typically put out in the mornings by almost all the people I've talked to in the stores that are employees that are in the department these are in. And we'll talk about where to find them in each store. They're typically put out in the mornings. So either this got put out late, or this was literally just chilling there the whole time and nobody bought it, which at 3 in the afternoon, that was shocking. So if we type this in right now, we're going to type in Funko, and here's how you find the difference. Because if you're doing this with me, just type in Funko Frodo. I'm on the eBay app, by the way. So if you just type in Funko Frodo, yeah, I mean, you guys can see what I'm looking at. It's all cheap. You're breaking even at best. So you're not going to make any money on that. So type in Funko Frodo and Chase. So always put that word Chase at the end. And then if we filter down to sold listings, so we can see 26, 27, 22. And this is not going to be a high ticket chase because this has been around for a while. So the demand is pretty much over. So a lot of people aren't really like chasing this one down. So this one was definitely a personal collection thing. I only paid $9 for it. So yeah, I can make a few bucks on it, but I'm not going to find that in the wild again, probably. So that was definitely a keeper. So here's why I tell you guys to look at both, because we typed in Funko Frodo Chase on eBay, and what was the average sell price? Like $24.18. So let's say like $25 at best. Now, if I go over to the Amazon app, type in the same thing, Funko Frodo Chase, and if the barcode's not covered, by the way, you can scan it and it pops up. So I can see that there are 3 sellers on the Amazon listing. It's got a decent rank. It's at 58,000 in toys, and at a $29.88 sell price after fees and shipping, you can see 22 back. So if I pay $9 for this, I'm getting a $13 profit. So I'm more than doubling my money. So I can easily sell this and make $13. But as a collector, I mean, I'm in a different position because I collect these. I'm going to keep that one. Now, if I do the same thing for, this is Gollum, by the way. Like, if you guys are Lord of the Rings fans, you'll appreciate this. He's got the fish and everything. Once you get into the collecting side, it's a different ballgame. It's my full nerd mode comes out. All right, so we're going to type in Funko Gollum Chase on Amazon. And so so there is one listing. Okay, so I'm seeing one listing with no rank. See, I didn't even look this one up when I found it, just because I knew it was for the collection, so I didn't even bother looking it up. Yeah, I don't think, that is actually shocking. There's not a, yeah, I spelled everything right. And you guys, with the Amazon app, it's super, super strict on spelling. So if you miss like one letter, it's going to not show up. So always double check your spelling. So we know that on Amazon, the listing has no rank. So it's probably a new listing and it's not selling. But if we look over on eBay, we see 30 across the board. And again, if we do the math for eBay, we're going to take $30. We have 13% in our fees. That's, I say 13 because I include the PayPal fee too, which is 3%. And then I'm going to subtract. These are super lightweight, by the way. So even if you get a box, they're typically going to be light enough to do first class on. And I think it was Chris. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was Chris that had posted in a comment thread, but he said that he finds boxes from Uline that fit this perfectly. So I'm actually going to order some of those just because I'm going to be doing these. So let's say it costs on the high end like $5 to ship. Minus $9 for my cost. So I spend $9, I'm making $12 after fees and shipping on eBay. So you can see why it's so crucial to check both Amazon and eBay, because on Amazon, if I looked at this, I'm like, well, there's one listing, it's not even selling, so I'm just going to put it back, right? That's if you're like only focused on Amazon. But if you check eBay, you can see that you can actually more than double your money on it. So these are basically the lower end chases. Now, if we get into something higher end, I don't even know what, let me see what high-ish end ones I have. So let's type in Funko. I just found this one this morning, actually. You guys probably saw it. It's the Black Panther. Funko. Yeah, just type in Funko Black. Is anyone else following along, by the way? Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not like completely boring you guys. Funko Black Panther Chase. Da, 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 da. So it's going to be the very top listing, the one where he has the mask, but the eyes are out. So you can see that one's a little bit higher. It's selling for $40. And again, I paid less than $9. So even on the high end, if I paid $9 after fees and shipping, I'm making $21 profit on that one. So now you guys can see why the different tiers are so crucial, because the commons, I mean, you have to be doing your research ahead of time and knowing what movies are coming out so you can gather those. It's hit or miss. Some of them you're going to sit on for a while. Some of them you can get in, cash out, get out. The store exclusives are going to be kind of home base. That's the middle ground, a little bit easier to find, but there's still some demand in certain areas. And I remember asking this in the beginning too. I'm like, if I'm finding a lot of store exclusives in my area, why are people paying more on Amazon and eBay? And it's because each region of the US doesn't get the same amount, and they hit stores at different times. So there might be a movie that comes out and they have the Funkos that hit the Northwest up here in Oregon and Washington first. They come into the stores first. I can get a hold of them before anyone else, and then I can sell them before they hit the rest of the states. So that's why I say it's a game of speed, which I'm a fan of anyways in any category. So let's actually check eBay on that. So Funko Black Panther Chase on eBay. So we know it's going for $40. On Amazon, we're going to filter down to sold listings. So we see $34.99, $5 shipping, so 40. We see 37, so about the same price. So if let's just say, and again, eBay is usually less in fees than Amazon. So if we sell for 40 on eBay, times, we take our 13% out. Let's say even high end, if it costs $6 to ship, minus my $9 buy cost, that's a $19 profit. So you can kind of see the difference between there. So it's up to you to decide if you want to do, you can even merchant fill on Amazon too. I'm a big fan of FBA just because you can typically move your stuff a little bit quicker, just because there's so many prime customers versus merchant customers. So that's kind of the difference between the main three categories. Now, your goal should be come up with a list of all the different stores, and here they are. Okay, I'm gonna hold on. Let me do this for you guys. I'm gonna put it in the chat so you can copy and paste it and put it in like a notepad on your computer or somewhere on your computer, so it's a little bit easier for some of you. Or if you just want to write them down, go for it. But Walmart. Oh, I guess I can't. If I hold down shift, it still goes in there. Well, crap, that doesn't work. All right, I'll just say them out loud, and then I'll edit the post when it goes up. How about that? So if you're watching the recording, it's on the post already. Walmart, Target, Toys R Us, Hot Topic, Walgreens, GameStop, ThinkGeek. I feel like I'm missing one.
Books A Million.
I don't even know what that is. Is that a store?
Bam, and it's called Books A Million. I just found it when we came to Tennessee. It's like
okay. That's good to know. Books A Million is up there. And that's the thing too. Like, there's so many different stores in different regions I've never even heard of.
It's really cool. Like, if you ever find one and you're driving by, stop the car. I love stopping in there.
Nice. I just got two more. It's Barnes and Noble, and then FYI. It's FYI, and it stands for your entertainment. FYI. Yeah, we really don't have a Books A Million around here. I've never even heard of that. It's so funny. Ronald says, remember the Toys R Us is going out of business. An area is marking the barcode. They'll be hard to resale value, correct? Yeah, so that's actually a really good thing to bring up. So when you're selling Funkos, box condition, before we move forward, let's back up real quick. Is everyone clear? Any questions on the 3 different categories? So I want to make sure we're complete on that. So you kind of see how it's common, store exclusives, and the chase. Chase are the rare ones. So I think we're all good on that. So next thing with Funkos, because most of the people that buy these are collectors, box condition and I call it the first word that comes to mind is screen, but the plastic that's on it. So the plastic that's on here, it's not the right term, but I call it the screen. So let me give you an example. There is a machine that creates these. So let me see if we can get this. See how clean that 90-degree angle is there? Versus, and these are both chase, by the way, versus this one, which is rounded. So this technically to like a high-end collector, and this isn't a high-end Funko by any means. It's a chase, but I already showed you the comps aren't super high, so this is not very high demand. But if you're selling stuff that's worth a good amount of money, like $30 plus, a collector might actually get mad at this because it's not the clean 90-degree cut or press that machine did. Same thing with your box conditions. Down to the corners have to be pristine. There's no wear on the plastic here, especially when these are shipped out in boxes of, I think, Brandon, you would probably know, are they shipped out in boxes of 6 for the case packs? Last time I looked at my Funko account, I think they're shipped out in cases of 6. But think about when these are pressed together, right? They might come pressed together like this, or they might be on the outside like facing the box, but you think about all the vibration going on inside of a truck. So sometimes you get these things, and this isn't bad, but there's a few scuffs. So if you're selling the rare stuff, you have to be really picky with your box conditions. The common ones, not too much. Master case of 36, yep. So basically they come in small cases that make up a big case of 36 of them. So you have to be pretty picky with your high-end stuff if you're doing the chases and that. So with your store exclusives, I kind of have I have a price point in my head of about $30. I feel like anything over $30 needs to have that extra protection. That's not to say that you can't protect all of them. I know some people that they will box every single Funko Pop, and that makes for a great customer experience, by the way, because that's something I'm going to start doing is I'm going to box everything I send in. Because I'm getting kind of picky, so I'm not just going to send in the stuff that sells for $15. I make $2, right? That if you're doing high volume, that's great. But I personally, I want to have a business model with Funkos that I'm selling the higher end stuff of a price point of about $30 plus. Is kind of what I want to go for. So I'm going to protect these. So I'm going to invest in those. And they're like 30 cents a box or something. They're not high at all. And you can also get, if you want to go high end, right? If you got a Funko that you're going to sell for $50 or something higher, you can actually get the plastic protectors that are made for these. So when you talk about a customer experience, that makes for a really good one. So you have a much higher chance of actually getting, customer feedback on that. Questions so far, box conditions, all that. All right, so I will say this. I sold 100 plus of these last month. I don't remember how much was on that screenshot. It was like 140 units or something like that. I did not box or bubble wrap one of them. Your job when you do Amazon FBA and eBay, of course, like bubble wrap it, ship it to your customer, make sure it gets there. But with Amazon FBA, our job as Amazon FBA sellers is to get our product safely in pristine condition to the warehouse. Once it gets to the warehouse, it is not your responsibility anymore. So out of the 100 plus that I sold last month, I had 2 returns because of box damage, and I got reimbursed for both. Because once it's out of your hands and you ship them to Amazon, the responsibility is now on them. So if you get any customer returns, customer complaints, negative feedback, anything, that you can get reimbursed, you can get that feedback taken off because you shipped it to Amazon in the right condition that you listed it under. So it's not your responsibility. Now, with that being said, that's what I did. what I'm doing moving forward is I do want the best customer experience. So I'm going to start boxing my stuff. The high end stuff, the chases are going to have their own plastic protector. That's a little bit higher cost. I think you can get those for about $1 a piece, depending the thickness of the plastic that goes around them. So that's what I'm personally doing. I'm not saying that's something you need to do. It's not required. So it's totally up to you if you want to bubble wrap and box and do all that extra stuff too. But I just know for me and my business, I really want to focus on customer experience. And as a collector myself, I know that if I order this, right, a chase, which is hard to find, if I order this for my collection and it came like this and it was, I'm like so OCD because this is amazing and it gives me so much joy. Look how clean that is. This thing is in pristine condition. So I would be so happy if I got this way. But if I got it, do I have anything that's in bad shape? I don't have any that's in bad shape. But if I got something and it was worn out on the plastic, the corners are dented in a little bit, like as a seller, it's like, yeah, whatever, it's in good shape. But to a collector, it's just like comic book collectors, Lego collectors, they are so picky with their conditions. They want pristine condition. So you really have to focus on the condition. The higher price point, the better you got to take care of that thing. Do we have questions so far? All right. So who wants to see how Hot Cash from Hot Topic works? All right. Yes, bubble wrap alone is okay for FBA. Yeah, you guys, you can treat this the same way you treat any other product. So like electronics, electronics like VCRs and stuff I've sold on Amazon, I'll bubble wrap and stretch wrap it. And then you put your item label on the outside. And it's good to go that way. Yeah, you can totally do that. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Amazon doesn't have a requirement on prep for it. You can polybag them too. That's another thing that people will do. Just toss it in a polybag so it keeps it clean and it's not rubbing up against anything. That's another idea you can do that's cheap. There's a ton of ways you can prep and do these too. Maybe I should take a night and prep, do like 5 different ways of prepping a Funko. And then you can kind of pick and choose which one you like best. Would that help you guys out? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do a video and I'll actually prep one in each different way. That way you guys can see what it looks like. So let's get into the Hot Cash because this is where I kind of live with this stuff. So Hot Cash, this is a program, and I'm talking about Hot Topic, but there are, and Gretchen pointed this out, there's so many stores that are now doing this type of program. It's the exact same thing. Was anyone on the bra arbitrage call with Chris where he talked about Kohl's Cash? It's the exact same thing. If you spend $30, they give you a $15 Hot Cash. Nike does this too with their, they do it pretty often too. In your video, include a double-sized box too. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'll cover all kinds of prepping stuff with that in a different video. Let me answer questions before I move forward too. Nicole was asking what the difference between EE and what you bought. Oh, that's actually a really good thing to bring up because somebody asked that earlier. So here's like the #1 question I've gotten about Funkos. Why aren't you ordering from Entertainment Earth? Right? You can get them for like $675 or something like that instead of paying $9. Here's why. Entertainment Earth is a middleman. They're a distributor. They will get their stuff a couple months after release dates. Yeah, $525 if you're direct. So like Brandon and I, we both have a direct Funko account. So we can get them, if we're ordering large cases, we can get them down to $525. But even then, you have to order stuff way in advance. So, and that's where I'm getting towards. I'm going to start doing that method a lot more direct from Funko. But with that being said, if you're using Entertainment Earth, you can go on there right now and start looking through all the Funkos that they have. And again, do what we just did on your phone. Check Amazon, check eBay. So you can do that. You might find some winners in there, and that's great if you do. But if you really want to get into the flow of having consistent inventory of Funkos, they don't get their stuff for like 6 to 8 weeks after release dates. So you have to pre-order their stuff. Like I even think, can someone go on the website right now and check if the Avengers Infinity line is even out? This will be a good little scenario to run. So somebody, if you can log on to Entertainment Earth right now and look up the Funko Avengers and see if the Infinity line is out yet. I'd be curious to see. I haven't looked at their website in a while, so I don't know.
Can I ask a side question while you're looking that up?
Yeah, of course.
So how do you know like what's coming out, what's coming up? Do you have like a site that you follow? Are you in a group? Like how are you deciding? Like what causes you to choose?
Here's what you guys are gonna do. Okay. Here's how you know what's hot. Here's how you know what's coming out. Go to Facebook, type in Funko in the search bar, and join every Funko group you can. Even better is you can join local groups. So these are collectors. I will say this. If you start joining groups, Funko collectors hate Funko resellers. It's a civil war. They do.
Any collector hates any reseller.
Yeah, collectors and sellers, man, it's civil war every time. So you kind of want to fly under the radar in the groups. Don't like going and be like, hey guys, I'm selling your stuff you're collecting. Like they're gonna get pissed and you'll get blocked. Quick side story about that. One of my best flip I ever did on Amazon. Well, one of them, I did a few, but one of my favorite flips I did on Amazon was a Nike Jordan shoe. And this was early on, and when I was doing a lot of Nike on Amazon, I went into Nike and I had come out with like 6 pair. One of them I spent, I want to say it was 120. I spent like $120 on a pair of shoes, and it was a higher end Jordan. I don't even remember what it was. It was a retro something. So I go up to the register, right? And it's this like 19-year-old kid. And I had that Jordan, a couple other Jordans, and some like Nike Frees or something. And I had 6 or 7 pair. And of course, I'm buying more shoes than usual that he usually sees. So he's like, oh yeah, man, that's a really good colorway. Have you seen the blah, 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 blah? He starts talking all this like Jordan sneakerhead talk. I'm like, yep. No idea what he's talking about. And when he saw my blank stare, he just stops and goes, you're selling these, aren't you? I'm like, it's what I do as a side hustle right now is I'm flipping shoes. He was pissed. He was so short with me after that. He was pissed. Like I can see it fuming. And that was when it clicked. I'm like, collectors really don't like resellers. So I will say this, when you're going into stores, if you're checking on Funkos and you see people next to you, like just kind of fly under the radar with it because you don't want to openly let them know. If you do that, that's on you, go for it. But I just learned from experience, collectors are pretty picky. So in the Facebook groups, Instagram pages, all that stuff, just fly under the radar, but use it to absorb information because that's exactly what I do. So type in Funko on the search bar, join all the Funko groups you can find. You probably will find local ones. We have an Oregon Funko group, and they actually have meetups. I want to go to one of these things. They have meetups once a month where they all bring their Funko collection and they trade. Like I can bring this chase that's not worth much, but a collector might really want it. And we'll like trade, and I can get one that's worth like $50. So there's like these Funko trading gigs that go on. So if you have one of those, check it out. I'm going to check one out pretty soon. So I'm excited for that. So that's step 1. Step 2, go to Instagram, type in Funkos, and follow all the Funko pages. Because you got resellers, you got collectors, you got all these guys that are dropping like the fresh, hot Funkos to keep an eye out for. And then all you do is start to learn which stores carry which lines. And that just comes through practice. Now, with that being said, let me pull up. There are a few of them, but I'll give you the main one, poppriceguide.com. This is a whole website dedicated for Funko Pops, and it will give you all the layout that you guys need. So if you're following us on this website right now, you click on coming soon. Let me see what we got on here. So if you click on coming soon, it shows you all the newer ones that are starting to drop. And Funko carries a lot more than just Pops. Pops are what these are. They have like keychains and t-shirts and all that stuff too. But you can kind of follow this page and follow along with that. There was actually another website I was browsing the other day. Let me see if I can find this for you guys real quick, just because it was so good. If I don't find it, yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to hunt this website down. I was looking. I didn't even look at the. I didn't even look at the website the other day, or like memorize what it was. So if you just go to Google and just type in Funko price or something like Funko Pop website, like you got all these different websites. There was one specifically that had a breakdown of which stores have which exclusives, and I found that that was really valuable, just to start kind of memorizing and absorbing which stores carry which lines. Or you can just go to the websites, go to Target, and then go to target.com and just type in Funko, or even you can type in the word Funko exclusive. I've been doing this for months, so I'm like giving you guys like, I'm basically creating my own competition right now, but I'm here to give you guys value, right? So go on to target.com and type in Funko exclusive, and all the Target exclusives will pop up. You could do the same thing with walmart.com, walgreens.com, and just start going through those things. And you can even do OA, right? Online arbitrage. You can right there from your phone start running your comps, and you can order stuff online. So that's one way to do it, rather than going into a store and you might find something. So I actually got the answer that I was really hoping it would be it. Nicole looked up on Entertainment Earth, going back to that topic. Why do I go into stores and buy these for $9 rather than ordering them for like $6.75 or something like that from Entertainment Earth? Because if you go in there right now, I'm holding something that they have on pre-order. They don't have their stock in yet. So yeah, you can get them cheap, but you're going to wait, 6, 8, 12 weeks to get your stuff. I can walk in right now and go find these today. And I can get in and cash out before all the other sellers get their stock. So again, I play a game of speed with it. That's how I was able to produce $1,000 profit last month doing this. So we have questions about Entertainment Earth, kind of why I did that. Yes, Brandon, thank you for bringing that up. If you run, because I used to try to do this, if you run the UPC code on BrickSeek for Target and Walmart and try to find like this specific one, the UPC is shared across the whole line. So this UPC will not tell me a variation like a Frodo or a Gollum. It's all, the whole line of Lord of the Rings is all going to share the same UPC. Now, if you, I can't see on here, 7. Yeah, so if you look at the box, the UPCs are different, but just the way the BrickSeek works, it's going to share it. So they might have 100 commons of Lord of the Rings, but if I look up the chase and I see the number 100, I'm going to get excited, like, oh my gosh, they have 100 chases. Like, no, it's just 100 Lord of the Rings. There might be a chase, but that's where it comes down to going in there and looking. So thank you for bringing that up, by the way. Questions so far? Everyone feel clear on that? All right, cool. So let's get into the hot cash. So this works just like Kohl's Cash, just like Nike. Do we got any Nike sellers? So if you sell Nike, whether it's Amazon or eBay, every now and then Nike does these spend $100, get $25 gift card back, and then you actually go back in during a certain time frame, a certain week, and you can use that $25 gift card. Of course, you have to spend a certain amount, spend 50, use your 25, etc. So these guys start doing the same thing. You spend 30 this way. You spend 30 and you get a $15 hot cash coupon. My camera's reversed, so I keep like going the opposite direction. But here's the part. You have to spend 30 to use this, but you get 15 off. So that means it's a 50% coupon is how I look at it. So when you go in to use these, and this was from today's purchase, they don't have a limit. I freaking love it. They don't have a limit. Some stores are so stingy with their stuff. This was today. I only spent $200 today and I got this. So, and I get extras, by the way, because I have a manager connection now, which was very difficult to get because Hot Topic typically does not like resellers. But I just happened to find that right manager and I had the right attitude with her that helped out. So here's, Nicole, I'm reading your comment. If you spend those as a part of the 30, do you get another? You do not, because how this works is right now, and this is going on right now, and I'm pretty sure it's nationwide, not just my region. So right now, if you go and you guys should all call tomorrow, call your nearest Hot Topic and ask them about the Kohl's, or I always say Kohl's Cash, the Hot Cash. Ask them about the Hot Cash and ask when the cutoff date is. They might vary store to store. I don't know. It might vary state to state. So ask them when the cutoff is, because how this works is right now is when you can get these. So you go spend money, they're going to give you these. Now, I can't use these until 4/12. Okay, so next month, for the second week of April, 4/12 until 4/22. So for 10 days, I can go cash all these in. But again, you have to spend 30 to use the one. Is how I look at it. So in my head, when I'm doing Funkos, here's how I do it. I go in and know that I'm paying 50% of whatever's on this price tag. So Hot Topic, where's one of my Hot Topics? Hot Topic, for example. You guys, they're making money, man. They're now that you guys know, if you have a direct Funko account, you can get them for like $5 a piece. Let me see if you can read this. $12.50. This is why a lot of people don't go into Hot Topic, because they look at the price tag. They're like, I'm not going to spend $12 on a Funko. How am I going to flip that? Because I stack these up with something else that they do. Right now, this is why I went in this morning. Right now, they have buy two, get one free. So check out what happens. So if I get 3 of these things, and I'll actually show you the comps on this. I've actually sold about 20 of these ones so far from the last haul that I did. So I'll show you how this works. So if I walk in, and I did get like 5 of these today, I see that there's a $12.50 price tag. I know that I'm buying 2, so I times 2, so it's $25. It's buy 2, get 1 free. So I'm spending 25 divided by 3, I'm spending $8.33 rather than that $12.50. On top of that, I get my cash for next time. So while I'm getting a discount now, and that discount, the buy 2, get 1 free, that's just regional. Typically, they all do something. Some of them, my best one was actually they had buy 1, get 1. So they were 50% off. That was sweet. So you need to call your Hot Topic and ask them what kind of deals they got going on with Funkos. Are they doing the Hot Cash? When does the weekend, etc. So now when I go in and I'm going to cash these things in, I'm going to have a stack of them that's like this big if I keep buying. So what I do is I am going to go in with the mindset of, if I buy $300 worth of this, and I have a stack of these, and I can use enough to get it all the 300 for $150. Because again, you have to spend 30 to get 15 off. So in my head, I'm just going to multiply that by 10. So I have to spend 300, and I'm going to get it all. Whatever I can spend $300, I'm going to get it for 150. So the last round, so when you guys saw I did that $1,000 profit, that's how I did it. I went in early when it was buy 2, get 1 free. These are profitable just right there. $8.30. Look at this. Nicole, we do not have to do separate transactions. That's the best part. Now, let me finish this real quick, and I'll cover that aspect of it. So if I type in, and again, if you're following along, I'm typing in Funko Thor. So there's a few different ones. You're going to scroll down just a little bit. It's the one holding the skeletal faceplate. And again, today I spent $8.33 on this. And as you guys can see, after fees and shipping, I'm making $12. That's why I've sold over 20 of these, because I'm making $12 each. And there's only 3 FBA on there right now. So that's why this is so crucial to be able to stack those discounts. So let me cover questions real quick. Data's on the
If you have
coupon.
an account, can you just order whatever you want?
What's that?
If you have an account with Funko, can you just order whatever you want, or is it?
You can, but there's a delay because the big stores are getting these way before small guys can. So for me to go on there right now, this is going to show sold out. I can guarantee it. This is going to show sold out because I do every month. I have my sales reps email me the updated sales form, so they show me everything they have in stock. It's thousands. So when I run that through Tactical Arbitrage, it will come back and say all these Funkos. Here's a list of Funkos that are profitable. I take what's profitable and run it against what's in stock. So this right now I can tell you is going to be out of stock. So I would have to put myself on the wait list and pre-order. So yeah, I can get it cheaper, but there's that time.
The wait, yeah.
That's where you have to, and I'm not perfect at this. The best method I should be doing is pre-order and do this, because then I'm going to get a wave of them that comes in. So yeah, you kind of have to play around different ways of doing that. Gretchen pointed out that this is on the coupon. I didn't even read the thing. I just know what the discount was. I didn't even read what it was.
Look right above where it says hot. That's where I saw the numbers.
Oh, gotcha. So that's so use me.
Right. So typically, and I mean, I haven't shopped at Hot Topic in a bit, but
is it the day before?
What?
Is it the day before is when the cutoff is?
So they'll give them out until, and I think that said 4/12. So they would give them out until 4/11.
Awesome. Good to know. Yeah, so you guys, that's good to know right there. I actually didn't even check what this is going for on eBay, actually. I've just been doing Amazon on those. All right, so if we do eBay on that, you guys feel like you learned a little bit about Funko so far? I know if you're brand new to the Funko game, this is like, what the hell is going on right now? It's a lot of information to absorb. I'm trying to take my 6 months of doing Funkos and condense it down to one call for you guys. So it's a lot of information. Come back and watch this again if you need to. Ultimately, I can sit up here and talk all day long about this stuff. You won't get good at it until you go out and practice it. So go walk into Hot Topic or Target and just start looking up all the comps on these things. And the best deal is if these are normal price, like that $12.50, most of them are not going to be profitable at the $12.50. But when they have the buy two get one free or buy one get one free, money. That's when you go in, you attack, and you go for volume. So I'm good with making my average flip was probably $4 or $5 profit, which I know for a lot of people is like, why would I spend money on this to make $5? Well, yeah, if you do it 100 times or 200 times, you're going to be making some good money doing that. So it's just going to be a volume game. So if we type in, Jason, nice. I was going to bring that up afterwards, but I love that you brought that up. So if you want the Hot Topic cash and you're going to be going in there and doing some bulk buying, which I'm going to talk about that in a minute, you can go onto eBay. And you can do the same thing with Nike, by the way. Kohl's, I don't know if you can do Kohl's cash, but you can do the Nike cards I just talked about that do the same setup. You can go on during that time and buy them on eBay. So you can probably go on right now, type in Hot Topic Hot Cash, and you're gonna be able to buy them that way too.
I've done that too, where you unload it, you're not going to make it back, or you've spent everything you can and there's nothing more that you want. You can sell it. It's all digital payment or whatever, and you just email it to your person.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Surtur. I'm going to see what this is going for on eBay. Let's go. Yeah, about same pricing. So you guys can see just based on this one, and I'm shocked how many of these I find. I don't know if it's just because I got a really good store, but I have sold over 20 of these, and I picked up 5 more today. So I find a decent amount of these ones, and you guys just saw we're making some good money on them. So, and that's all you need. You don't need to buy hundreds. You just need to find a few good ones and then buy multiples, and I'm going to cover that in a second. So do we all understand how the cashback works? Stacking it with the discount. All right, let me get questions real quick. I saw Annie, scanning doesn't always pull it up. No, so here's why. With Hot Topics specifically, they have their own, oh, it's reversed, there we go. Keep going to the other side. They have their own sticker right here, which is the price tag, and their own barcode, but that's not the actual UPC, so you can't scan that. Nothing's gonna pop up. So you just have to type in Funko and then whatever the character name is, make sure it's the right one, because typically there's variations, and then you can run your comps that way. If it's from a normal store like Target, Walmart, etc., yeah, you can scan that. It's just a regular barcode. I think GameStop, I haven't been in GameStop in a while. I think GameStop puts their own barcode over it. So again, you have to manually search it. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people don't do it, because it's extra work. You have to take the extra 30 seconds to type it in rather than scan it. And that's what detours a lot of people from doing it a little bit more heavily. The one I have is bad reviews because of packaging. Yeah, and that could have been a merchant filled packaging, so that would have been on them. If it was FBA, that's not on you. So if you do get a negative review, because I've had this happen, I had somebody complain about a dinged up box one time, and I got it taken care of. I got it taken off because I told Amazon I sent it to you guys in pristine condition, and that was a fulfillment center issue. And they're like, "Yep, no problem. We take responsibility." Those people must have kids. That's awesome. All right, so let's cover the next part about using these. Okay, with Hot Topic, just like a lot of stores, it's going to depend on the employees there, whether they like you or they don't like you. Some people do not like resellers, and it doesn't matter what store they work at, they're not going to like you, and that's okay. Be nice. So here's how you do this. I'm pretty sure in my area, I'm the reason they developed a 5 limit per SKU. I went in the first 2 times and I had bought like 10 of these, no issue. The third time I went in, they cut me off at 5. And they said that was like a new store policy. And guess what? It happened to all 5 stores in my area. I'm pretty sure I'm the reason they put that 5 limit. So with that being said, step 1. Be extremely kind to the employees, especially at a store like Target or Hot Topic where they are known for not liking resellers. You have to be nice to the employees. Number 2, don't go in there just like phone out in the open, scanning your heart out, making it obvious. Like, if there's one thing I can tell you guys that worked for me best is just make an honest connection with the employees. Go in there, be friendly, ask them how their day is going, like dive in and get friendly with them, because as long as they know you on a personal level, like they're going to let it slide that you may be reselling, and that's okay. So step number 2, if you find stuff in there and you find multiple, so if you walk in and there's 20 of these sitting on a shelf, you guys just saw the profit on this, right? If you see 20 of these sitting on a shelf, you're going to freak out, right? Oh my gosh, look how much money I'm going to make. If you see that happen, go up to the employee and just let them know, like, hey, I'm actually interested in buying multiple units. Do you guys have a limit? And here's the key as to why I have the connection I do with the manager now. I let her know right up front, I'm looking to offload a few of these to some customers of mine, but I want to respect your guys' store policies. That was key. When I brought that up, she thanked me because she said that the last bulk buyer they had lost his mind when she put a limit on him. So by me just being open and transparent and respecting the store policy, she was like, she told me right up front about that story with the other guy. I told her, like, hey, I'm just here to respect your guys' policy and stay within whatever guidelines that you guys set. I want to make sure I respect that. And so when, I know, right? It sounds like a reasonable guy losing his mind in a Hot Topic. So I let her know that right up front. She was so appreciative of that. Even though they don't like resellers, she respected that I brought that up and acknowledged it. And so she then had told me, and this was at a different store, so it wasn't the same one I bought 10 of these at that first time. It was a completely different store. But I went in and told her that. She's like, yeah, it's totally fine. I get it. We do have a 5 limit now, so just a heads up. I'm like, no problem. So, and I verified. So I brought up another one, right? So I brought up another one. I'm like, I understand it's 5. Am I good to get 5 if they're different ones? And she's like, yeah, no problem. 5 of any SKU, that's fine. And that was like the intro to it. And you guys want to know where that relationship led? Let me bring this up. I shall show you. It turned into a text message that reads, I've got some chases that will be out tomorrow morning. And I verified 10 a.m. It's the Black Panther chase in case you already have one. So my butt was up there at 10 a.m. this morning. It's to a point now. She even did something that she can get in trouble for if she got caught. She didn't put it on the shelf. She put it under the counter for me because I told her I would be there at 10. And I went in. She hands me a box, which was this box. She hands me a box at the door. She says, your Black Panther is under the counter, and we have new stock out on the shelves. But it started with me being a little transparent with her, letting her know I was going to buy multiples. They call them bulk buyers. That's their term you'll hear. They'll call you a bulk buyer. So you can let them know up front. You don't have to say you're reselling necessarily. You can just say, hey, I want to be open with you. I'm a bulk buyer, and I want to respect your policies. Do you guys have a limit per SKU, a limit total? And then, about this, moving forward with this, when you go to use these, don't try to use your whole stack at the same store. Don't go in there and buy 50 of these. Well, I did this at one store. I had 50 of them, and I asked her right up front, I'm like, listen, I've got a stack of these. And it was the same person. I said, I've got a stack of these, but again, I want to make sure I respect your guys' store policy. How many am I allowed to use? Completely open about it. And she, because of that, she's like, well, technically we're supposed to use this many, but I've got you covered. And she let me use as many as I could to cut that $500 bill down to $250. So that all came from that relationship building, that connection. It all comes by respecting and being a little transparent with people. That is crucial. If you're hiding and looking like somebody that's getting ready to steal their shit, they're not going to want to work with you. So just go in there, be friendly. I can't beat that enough. Yeah, Gretchen nailed it. They have numbers to meet. She wants you there. She just told me this morning. She said that she gets an email every day at 11 a.m. 1 hour after they open, and her manager asks her how many units of different things that she sold. So today, when I went in there, I only bought 20. How many did I get? I bought 21 today. So she gets to show her manager, hey, I sold 21 Funkos. So they have their own quotas to meet. So it's not just that you are benefiting from making some money. They're benefiting because they get to show their quotas. And they probably have bonus structures and all that stuff based around it too. So don't ever feel like you're being shady because you're stacking cash on top of discounts and all that stuff. How many visits to that store and talking did that take? That was probably a total of, I want to say 5 or 6 visits of like interacting with her and getting to establish it until I got that first text message. And the text message didn't even happen because of Funkos. This right here, the Stranger Things little poster, that was an old poster that they had up as a display in their store. And I saw it sitting by the register. And so I asked her, I'm like, hey, are you guys putting that up? And she said, no, we actually just took it down. And I asked her, what do you guys do with those? And she said, well, honestly, we just get rid of them. We just throw them in recycle. I'm like, and I asked her, I'm like, is there a way you can sell me that? Because it would make a perfect background for my shelf I'm building of the Funkos that I was buying. And she's like, yeah, let me go see what we can do. And she went in the back and asked like the big boss, right? And he came back and said $10. And she asked me, she's like, do you want more of these? Because we get rid of promotional stuff all the time. And I said, yeah, that'd be great. Is there a way you can email me or something? And she's like, yeah, no problem. And so she emailed me the first time. And then the second time I went in there about it, and I forgot what it was. Oh, I went into the store. She asked if she got my email, and I didn't because my email was like crammed. I didn't even look at it. And I said, honestly, it's a little quicker for me to respond if it's text. I see my text first before emails. And she's like, yeah, no problem. And then she texted me when the next one came out, which was my Marvel one that you guys see up there. No, not Marvel. I have a DC one. So she texted me about the DC one, and then it turned into like that next visit. She said, hey, I think we got some chases that are going to be put out in the next couple days. So it was still not like a tight connection. She kind of gave me a little heads up, and that was like visit 4. And then by visit 5 or 6, that's when she just straight up like, hey, Black Panther going out tomorrow 10 a.m. So that was kind of the transition that we went through to get there. Because I think that's a big mistake a lot of people make when they go in expecting to build these connections and relationships with managers. You think you can walk in, be the friendly one. They ask you what you do. You have an e-commerce business, and then they say, oh, let me message you when I have stuff. Like it doesn't happen like that. It's a step-by-step, many interactions. Some of them are going to be 5 interactions like I had with that one. Other ones take 6 months. My manager connection, you guys know that I have where the Walmart, he'll print off clearance stickers for me based on what I can do. He'll right there. I'll scan stuff. He has his barcode scanner and he'll print off stickers for me. But that took 6 months until we built that. So you guys see where that range can go from. We have questions so far?
I think you covered like our entire list of everything.
Did I nail them? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm getting everyone clear on kind of like the Funko game and what I've been doing, because I'm not doing anything that's fancy. It's just a few little tips, a few little tricks, how to stack this with buy 2 get 1 free. That's all it's been doing, and it's just going in there and being diligent. Here's the key that I'll leave you with, because I know we're way over time right now. Be damn consistent with it. Just like any other aspect of your business, if you want to see results out of it, you have to be consistent with it. You can't show up to one hot topic one time, not find anything, and then walk away and be like, well, Chaz is full of shit. You've got to go in a second time and a third time and go to a different store and a different store and then come up with a weekly route. I go to this hot topic every Thursday, every Friday is typically when I go, because Nike is right next to it too. So I get to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. It's a 45-minute drive for me. So I drive 45 minutes to get out there. I hit Nike, Under Armour, and I hit Hot Topic, all in the same plaza. And so that's my weekly route. And guess what? So there's some weeks I go in there, and she'll even like take me to the back wall now, and she'll be like, yeah, look at all these new ones we just put out. And I'm like running my numbers. I'm like, there's nothing I can do here. Like, you have some of those times you walk out empty-handed, and that's okay. But then other times, like today, I walk in, I got a chase, my personal collection, but that's a win for me. So I got my Black Panther chase, and then I got enough to flip. I get mine for free, and I'm going to make some profit. So you got to be consistent with it. Whether it's Hot Topic, Target, Walmart, Walgreens, any store. I know we covered Hot Topic a lot. I did that just because of this, okay? So take everything I just told you, and you can apply that to the Walgreens, the Targets, the Walmarts. I recommend you go in there first thing in the morning, because that's typically when they put the rare and exclusive ones out. It's not like that at every single store, but typically you're going to get them first thing in the morning. So if you have to come up with a morning routine that says, I'm going to hit these 2 Targets, this Walmart, and this Hot Topic every day of the week, because they put them out whenever they get them in. Here's how chases work with Funko. If I order, you guys saw that Brandon posted earlier, if I order a case of 36 of these, the Frodos, there might be a chase in there. I can't just go and order directly chases from Funko. So if I order 36, yeah, there's a chance I might even get 2 or 3 of these in there, but it's all random. So you've got to have like a really good connection with your sales rep for them to hook you up with like direct chases. I would just sit there and order freaking 1,000 of these things every month. So if you go in there, just be consistent. And stores typically aren't going to just hold out and only put chases out and exclusives out on a certain day. But what they're going to do is if they randomly get this in on like a Tuesday at 9 a.m., they'll just throw it out. They're not going to say like, no, hold it till Friday. Like to them, it doesn't matter. This is just another toy. They all see it as the same thing. But to us as resellers or maybe collectors, this is money. So that's the thing. Yeah, Brandon said most of them are 1 per case. So anytime you order a case, did we say it was 6 per case? So most of the time you might get one of these, the chases per case. That's if you're ordering direct. Gretchen said most of the promotional stuff always gets recycled. I used to work in a movie theater and someone stole the Lord of the Rings 3D poster board. The funny part is they will give it away if you ask the movie posters. That is amazing. I did not know that. I'm going to go tomorrow to my movie theater and ask for the posters because I'm friggin' nerding out on this stuff.
Movie posters are double printed actually. So I don't know if most people don't realize that. So when you look at it like front to back, if you look at the back of it, you see the mirror image of it. It's supposed to be like clearer and crisper. Yeah. I had a friend that took all the Harry Potter posters because that was in the others.
Gosh.
And I should try to find him. I don't know what he did with them. But yeah, the Lord of the Rings Day. You know those like 3D cutouts? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you see them in the movie.
Like the life-size ones?
Yeah, but it was the 4 hobbits, so they were shorter.
Oh my gosh.
And
I would kill
guys
that.
pulled up. They pulled up in a van. They came running in and were like charging. And it was like 10:30. Like we'd literally just opened the doors. And I looked at my coworker. I'm like, what is happening? They scooped it up and they ran out the door.
Wow.
And we were just like, we would have given you that for free. You didn't have to steal from us and like toss it in the back of your no-windowed van.
Gosh, that is so good to know. I'm literally going to go. I'm going to go down tomorrow and put them on. I need to get on some list or something to get those. That's amazing.
Yeah, usually they have like a list. Like just ask for the manager, but most of them have a list for you.
Okay, sweet. Appreciate that. Do I have a direct Funko account? Yes, I do. Let me clarify. I have an account that I've not done anything with, but now that I've done the store flips, now I have the knowledge base to do it the proper way with the wholesale account that I have. So now that I know I have to pre-order stuff ahead of time, all the hot stuff and all that. How do you know the chase, the rare, and the basic ones? So these are the chase. Basically what they do with the chases is all they do is they take like the popular character. They'll make, I wish I had the common, I'm trying to think, do I have a common and a chase of the same one? So Black Panther, for example, that's a bad example. My 3-year-old took my common one, so I don't know where it's at. But let's just take this. So they have a regular Frodo Baggins. The only difference with the chase is they make it slightly different. So you can see this is like the underwater version of him. Yeah. So this is like when he's taken over by the ring. So see how his eyes are blue and he's got red under there. So they make a variation of it, and that's where the chase comes from. So like, where did he go? Like Schmeagol, Gollum. If you look at Gollum, but you look at the regular Gollum, he does not look like that. So they take the popular one, but they just make a slight variation of it is what they do. Yeah, this thing, they're both pretty creepy. When I text Trista, I got this, she told me she texted back and said, I don't like that one, put it back. I'm like, this is a chase. I'm not putting this back. I'm keeping this one. She's like, oh, it's a chase. Yeah, get it. But yeah, it's super creepy. I love them though. Yeah, I figured they'd be a little iffy on that. I'm hoping, so I'm not far from their headquarters because I just live down in Oregon. So I'm actually thinking I want to put in a decent size order with them and just go pick it up is what I want to do. Put it back on the shelf. Yeah, she didn't like that one. She still doesn't like it. I have to build out a Lord of the Rings shelf next, and yeah, she's not excited for that one. But yeah, it's basically how that works. The regular ones, they don't have any stickers. They're not store exclusive. Any store can sell the regular ones. The exclusive ones are only for that store. And then the chases are going to be the slight variation of the popular one, but they made a limited amount of stock. That's why they're harder to get, because you're not going to see these floating around very often. Like Christopher said, there's 6 for an inner case, and you might find one of these per 6. So that kind of shows you the ratio of there's 6 times the amount of commons floating around versus the actual chases. But aside from that, to wrap up, if you didn't hear earlier, Instagram, just type in Funko and follow all the Instagram accounts. And then go to Facebook, type in Funko and join all the Funko groups so you can kind of get an idea of like popular stuff coming out. I completely didn't even think about that. So Christopher asked about the ECC ones. Where is my...
What does that mean, ECCC?
So kind of along the category of store exclusives are convention exclusives. So for example, this was the 2018 convention that just happened. Spring convention. So I'm trying to get that to focus. So these guys are only sold at that convention. So you can kind of see where like you can't walk in to typical stores and buy these until the time has passed. So people can get a hold of these quick at the conventions, and then some of the stores get them. But again, it's limited amounts, and they're not going to get a ton of them. So with that, these things are usually going to be a little bit higher price. Like this one was $15 from Hot Topic. And I know ThinkGeek and GameStop, theirs is a little bit higher. So each store is a little bit different on the rules and policies on how they do this. But yeah, Emerald City Comic Con is what the ECCC stands for. So Comic Con exclusives are amazing. Really, any of the exclusives. New York Toy Fair just came out. Did they have the NYC exclusives that came out there? Yeah, Chrome Batman. Oh, just like the Aladdin Genie, Chrome Batman sells for $500. I don't know, like, if I get a hold of one of those super rare ones like that, I don't know if I would sell it. Like, just the idea of having it and knowing how much it's worth, I don't know if I can sell it. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm collecting now. I'm having a hard time like letting go of some of them. That's crazy. Yeah, so the convention ones are going to be really good too. And they've got all kinds of conventions. There's conventions multiple times a year, different product lines that come out with them.
Chaz, can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I didn't know what I was doing last year when I bought this. It was a GameStop exclusive.
Yeah.
And I bought like 6 of them. I don't know what just happened in my video. Oh, I bought like 6 of them at like $30, and I haven't been able to sell one. And so I don't know.
That was the holographic Leia and R2, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. What are the comps at right now?
On FBA, they're $40.
So you're pretty much at a break even.
Yeah.
Okay.
And eBay's just saturated.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be your call, but you really have 2 options. It's going to be hold out for a while until everyone else sells out and the demand goes up, and then you get some more money out of it. But so you paid $30 a piece.
Yes, I think that's right.
Yeah, so you got a good chunk of cash tied up in that. I would cash it. You've had them for how long?
Since I think it was June last year or somewhere in that neighborhood.
Oh yeah. So sell them, break even, get your money back, reinvest in something else.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to kind of play that balancing act of like, how long do I hold on to something in hopes that I might sell it versus let's cash out because I can use that money to go buy something else that's going to sell right now. Christopher brought up a really good topic with that too, is so trading too. So I talked about like those little trade shows that go on here in Oregon. There's Funko groups that you can join on Facebook. They're kind of buy sell trade groups, and you can post that you have 6 of them you're looking to trade.
Okay.
And if somebody's looking for that specific thing, you might be able to find something that's worth a little bit more. But if you don't want to go through the hassle of doing that, because then you have to take care of like a PayPal transaction and shipping, I would personally sell them, break even, get your money back, and reinvest.
Okay.
Is what I would do.
It was just to your point that I think I got on the train a little too late. By the time they got to GameStop, they were already saturated from Comic-Con. I think that, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's a prime example of just, I mean, Funkos aren't the only one. Like reselling in general, sometimes it's a game of speed.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm gonna buy this, like these things right now, these just came out, these emerald ones. So these just came out, but I know in like 2 weeks there's gonna be competition. So I've got to send this in now, cash in on as much as I can get out of it, and reinvest in the next one. That's just like the Prongles. Those were like get in, cash out, get out. GameStop Connect has 1,030 pops in his collection, and he got one. He won't let it go or trade for another Chaser exclusive. Oh man, yeah, I would definitely. Gretchen said, "If I get one, I'll sell it to you for 500, no questions asked." Deal. If you find one, I will buy that from you. That is so funny. Oh yeah, the bullseye. I am so bummed I did not keep one. So I actually got a hold of 3 of them, believe it or not. Let me check. Hold on. I'm going to check something real quick. I might give you guys one of my tactics I do with some stuff. You guys ready for that? Call this the bonus. Hold on. I got to double check though, because if it's still really good.
The bonus for making it to the 1 hour and 40-minute mark.
Yeah. Oh, this might still be good. All right. So you don't have to do it with just this one item. Dang, all right, hold on. Hold on. I promise there's a method to this. All right, so we're going to go. I'm going to teach you guys how to reverse something. All right, we're going to go sort by lowest and buy it now. All right, so I'm not worried about you guys taking one of my things. So here's how I did the 3 target dogs. You ready for this? Go onto eBay. You could do this with any item, by the way. Go onto eBay and type in Funko and then whatever Funko you want. And I said earlier, I'm going to teach you reversing this. Start with Amazon, and you can search for the high ticket Funkos that are worth like 45 plus, all the way up to like hundreds. And then search for that Funko on eBay. eBay prices are usually a little bit lower than Amazon, a lot lower in some cases. So Christopher just brought up the damn Target dog one. So the Target dog, Bullseye, he's got the red bullseye on him. There's a Funko of that. When I found it, I just randomly on eBay one day, and I found it for $30. And I bought it. It got here. I sent it into FBA, and I sold it for $95. So I found 2 more, and I did the same thing, and I priced it up higher. I sold them for like $115, both of them. Now the supply is pretty low on that one, so you're not going to find those killer deals all the time, but that's an example of an eBay to Amazon flip. So start with Amazon. You can do this with any product, guys, electronics, anything. Start on Amazon, find something that has a high sell price, and then go to eBay and search for it. And here's what I do. There's different ways to do it, but here's what I do. So like this one, you can type in Funko and then whatever you're looking for. So I go, actually, so like this one, the Thor holding the skull that I showed you is worth money on Amazon. So you can search for this on eBay, and then you're going to go filter. You're going to sort it by the lowest price, and then you're going to go to the buy it now format. You can also do that with the auction if you want to do an auction and try to get something for cheap. But by doing that, it's going to list them in order of the cheapest to the most expensive, and you're going to snipe those low ballers, and then you're going to take those and flip them onto Amazon. So I did that with the Target dog Bullseye. So I made a couple $100 on that. Just one example. You could do that with electronics. I wouldn't do it with toners, right? You gotta play it safe with some stuff. I wouldn't do it with toners because that's Amazon's not going to be a huge fan of that, but that's a way that you can make some cash too.
I've done that with stuff on eBay. Like, I don't know if you saw my post the other day. I bought my daughter a pair of mini Melissas. I don't know if you're familiar with the shoes. They smell like bubble gum. They're for little girls. And I got a Vivienne Westwood compilation, which was like brand new. If I wanted these shoes, they were $89 for my 5-year-old. They were used on eBay for $15.
Oh my gosh.
Shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, so my plan right now, I've done this with a few things for her. Like, clean it up. It's pretty. She'll wear it.
Yep.
And then I'll sell it for probably more than what I paid for it because she owns a gazillion pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
You've seen my shoe collection. Hers is
right up there.
more. It's bad. But yeah, I don't know. I love using stuff for free, especially for my kids.
Yeah.
They're so darn expensive.
That is awesome. Yeah, there's so many opportunities doing eBay to Amazon flips too. So, and you can do eBay to eBay flips, like Gretchen just said, like spent $15 on a $90 pair of shoes. Use shoes that still smell like bubble gum.
Okay, I wish I could, like, you're just gonna have to go to a store. If you go to like a Nordstrom Rack, sometimes, like, okay, this is hilarious, but I'll go to a Nordstrom Rack and if they have them there, like, I can smell them as I'm walking through the
Oh my gosh.
Like, but I'm like as passionate as you are about Funkos.
Yeah.
I am that excited about shoes.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, walk through the children's section at Nordstrom Rack. You will smell them.
Nice. There's a tip of the day for the shoes, bubble gum. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much. I know it was a lot of information. I knew this call was going to go way longer than an hour just because it's so much info to put on you at one time. But I wanted to make sure you guys just, like, you've got everything that I personally know about Funkos. I'm by no means an expert. I did enough to make $1,000 profit last month. So if you want to make $1,000 this month, that's how you do it. So call your Hot Topics tomorrow. Ask them about the deal going on with the hot cash. If you want to do your research ahead of time, call them and ask them, say, hey, I am a potential bulk buyer and I just want to respect your store's policies. Do you guys have a limit? So you can even call up front and just be transparent with them that way too, and make that connection start. But if you guys go in there and you kill it and start finding the stuff, like, post in the group. I'd love to see if anyone does some good Funko hunting over the next week. But aside from that, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all being here, and we will see you guys next week.
Thanks, Jazz.
Great night, guys.